So we got two chapter reviews for the latest chapter of Choujin X, which is chapter 49, part 3, which came out last week. And we have chapter 50, part 1. With chapter 49, part 3, we get the backstory and the understanding on how the fallout happened between Master Motto and Zora, and why Zora actually got kicked out of the Yamano Mori, which was very interesting because in the backstory, we get a better understanding on how they both were able to see the future. And it's kind of really sad that how things didn't really work out. Now, how to understand the future sight that both of these Trojans were able to see is that when it comes to Zora, Zora sees the future that's probably going to happen. So when Zora sees this future, she goes on ahead and try to prevent it. So then when she goes on ahead and goes and preventing it, and she goes to the extreme level, the aftermath of those results, Zora doesn't see that. Master Model goes on ahead and she sees the results of what happened, of Zora actually completing or trying to prevent the future that she sees. So it's kind of like Zora sees the reason of why this future is going to happen. So she's trying to prevent it. And when she does prevent it, it goes horribly wrong because the aftermath is way greater. So Zora, she sees the dark calamity. She sees Titus being a evil king, even though Titus and her actually work together to actually defeat Queen. But the Queen Trojan, we don't know if he actually dies, but it just illustrates that Queen is the big bad Trojan, that it was the enemy number one, and that Titus and Zora actually work together. But Zora actually sees a future where Titus becomes this evil king. So she goes on ahead and kills him. And then after she kills him, she goes on ahead and kills everybody in this land. And because she also sees a future where there's going to be a rebellion to go against her because they killed their king. So she goes on ahead and kill the rebellion. She goes on ahead and kill Titus' children. It doesn't even matter, relatives. She killed them all. And then so she was gone for like 3 years. So within those 3 years, the Yamano Mori, they felt like neglected because their savior is not even there anymore. And you want to know how come Master Motto didn't speak up? Well, at the time, Master Motto was really afraid because those visions that she kept seeing was her nightmares. She kept saying it was her nightmares, and she didn't realize that what she was seeing was the future. And she was actually a kid. She was actually 7 years old. And around that time frame, when she actually had the power to actually stood up against Zora, it was like pretty much teenager, late teenager stage. So of course she couldn't really understand her powers. And then later she figured out what her powers really was. And so of course around that time, the Yamano Mori, more and more, they start to see Zora as a person who is just pretty much just crazy and going to the chaotic state and becoming the person that we see today in this series, where she goes to the extreme level and become a monster. And Master Motto, she actually sees Zora being this evil monster with her followers, where at the time Zora is telling everyone from the Yamano Mori about this dark calamity, but it was already too late because no one doesn't believe her. And then so we get that understanding of that backstory because we see that everyone, the majority of the Yamano Mori, sided with Master Motto, and they go on ahead and actually kick out Zora. So we see how the poppy field is, and the poppy fields are being burned to the ground. They burn the opioid, which we see in chapter 50 that has a huge effect on Zora. Because while there was burning the opioid or the poppy field, that was in August of 1999. Now we fast forward to December of 1999, and this is where chapter 50 comes in, where we see all of the head Yamano Mori leaders. They have a meeting in the Yamano Mori, and they actually goes on ahead and discuss what's their next step, because their next step is to actually go on ahead and battle against Zora, because now they have the poppy fields and they're able to destroy the opioid. So while they're able to destroy the opioid, they assign Seto to be the defense of this whole operation, to go on ahead to Zora's tower, so that way they can go on ahead and defeat her. So while that's happening, Seto is setting up all of his players, and then we focus on what is actually happening inside the tower, the Omega Tower, where we see kind of Zora. She's at her last limit. It looks like she is kind of defeated, but I don't know. But either way, she's trying to give the mark, and she's trying to do it fast because time is running out. And we see a returning character, Yokuba, as she is in the tower spying to see what is going on. And while she's seeing that, we see the Dark Knight, the Black Knight, the knight that was able to cut Nude into pieces. He finally makes his appearance, and he actually goes on ahead and actually battles against Yokuba, and Yokuba is trying to run away. She's trying not to fight this person, and we kind of see what Choujin ability that this Dark Knight or this Dark Soldier has, because he was able to melt Yokuba, and she was also able to show some flames. So he's probably like a heat Choujin or a fire Choujin. So while that's happening, they both goes into battle. Yokuba goes into her chaotic form, and she tries to defeat him, but we see that the Dark Knight did the same thing that he did to Nude and chop her up into pieces as the chapter ends, as he says that you are not getting the mark of the beast, as it seems as if that Yokuba, and correct me if I'm saying her name wrong, let me know down in the comment section, but her chaotic form didn't even work out for her because she actually died or she's defeated. We don't know how Choujin X is and how her body structure works, because she's able to form her body into multiple pieces and stuff like that. But she's chopped up into multiple pieces, and the chapter just ends as we see a defeated, chaotic version of her as she's being chopped up. But that's just pretty much what's to happen in chapter 49 part 3 and chapter 50 part 1. So that's just pretty much what's all went down in this latest chapter of Choujin X. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this latest chapter, your thoughts, your theories, corrections. Just let me know down in the comment section. And if you guys do like the video, hit the like and subscribe button. And remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man. And hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.